Welcome back, guys. For those of you that are new, a very warm welcome. We're going to be checking the energy for you this month. Now, bear in mind that with Mercury going retrograde on the 14th, this does link back to 2014. So some of this energy that occurred back then could be coming back to play, and it's really checking in on the cycle effect of where you are and where you're going from here. Now, October is a number 10 month, meaning endings and new beginnings, completions, tying up loose ends. So it's as many astrologers have been saying, it's like the birthing canal. Now, we're going to cover this read astrologically, psychically, and through the tarot. And we are covering your romance house and any of the energies through the moon phases. Heart-centered energy. Why would that be? Let's look at your chart, Pisces. Well, that makes sense. Moving into the beginning of the month, we've just moved out of the energy of Virgo with the moon, and we're moving into the full moon in Aries. So a lot of that was heart-centered. A lot of that was clearing a higher heart chakra. Very Aries and Chiron energy. That's the reason why it's still linking to you making space in your heart for new, making peace with the past, and coming to terms with things. So let's pull a chakra card. So, some of those things might have been painful memories. They might have been very testing on you. It could have been, all of those things flooding back through those gates and, coming up through your heart-centered. It might have hindered you really expressing yourself due to the internalization and thinking of such. Let's pull a ruin. So you've got watermelon tumble-line. My heart is open to giving and receiving love. That's a bit hard when you're healing, though. Initially, no. Moving through, the understanding of it and things that come up, it's like directly dealing with those energies. But definitely, anything to do with like pink quartz or... we've got a lot of guides coming through at the moment. Okay, so for you guys, most of you feel something's going down. Something's going down and you're like, is there always going to be something that's going down? All right. Trying to get the camera to focus. You've got a lot of guides at the moment coming through protecting us. So, if you do, you might be concerned about a feminine energy. It might be a subject that's coming up where you're looking at it. You may feel a loved one who's passed over really being with you, and it'll be a feminine energy coming through on this occasion. It was a masculine before. And really even looking, at where you came from and maybe your conditioning and the reasons why mother energy reacted in a certain way towards you. So there could be a bit of concern around that. Pluto going direct, there could be concerns around mother energies, grandmother energies in the 3D. So play it how it is, but definitely those as love guides and people, are coming through in the esoteric energy to protect you. Okay, so we do have the sun in Libra currently. How are you doing? Yeah, how are you doing with that? Fun, eh? Neptune Retrograde in Pisces. A lot of you are reflecting over your hopes and dreams. Delusions, illusions, making sense of things. Things that are hidden as well with the scorpionic energy coming through of Mercury will be coming up for you guys. Now, the sun initially is going to be in Libra, which is hitting your 10th house. I keep dropping cards. Just get the feeling a lot's going to be coming at us this month. So in the 3D, you might have been working very hard. You might have been taking steps to actually implement things, get things moving, look at what was and wasn't working. With the sun transiting, it is going to be moving over to Scorpio on the 22nd, and that's hitting your 9th house, so don't be surprised if you're really busy. We're also having the full moon in Aries on the 1st of October, which will sort of linger on because we do have Aries and Chiron retrograde, Mars retrograde, and things will go direct as we move forward. So the frustration, the intensity, the mental fog, the agitation will be there. It's really positive if you shift the energy into things that you need to do. So if you feel like you just can't stop, you just can't sleep, it is due to the Mars effect. But it's deeply fatiguing. So it can really spike during the full moon energy where you feel really fatigued, and it's a purge of that frequency. But, a lot of you could even have the sacral chakra, solar plexus activated, where you're getting to a point, you're feeling this anticipation energy, but you might not, you're sensing it, but you're not expressing it. You're trying to really, how do I place it? Tame it. You're putting your energy where it needs to be, not onto lower frequency activities, okay? Now, so you have watermelon tumble. Open the heart to love. Feel unconditional love and support. Bridging the spiritual connection between heaven and earth, increased romance. And I do feel, due to the Virgo energy, it was a clearing of the heart chakra. So in the last few weeks, if you were like having palpitations, I'm not a medical physician, you need to go to a doctor for that. This is from a spiritual, holistic point of view. Tumble, there seems to be physically something you're purging, something you're coming to terms with. Also, you've got throat chakra, but maybe it's like you're getting the blocked throat chakra coming through, feeling you can't speak your truth, feeling it's inappropriate, maybe even taming it. And again, innately, because we have Mars retrograde in Aries, some of us are taking on a complete different demeanor to what we innately are. So if you're more open, you're going to be more passive. If you're more passive, you'll be more open. It's taken on a polar shift of what it is, but it is an internalization. So thus will occur on the outside, as within, as without. It's like really trying to gauge that and go, okay, I'm not going to flip my lid. I'm going to try and be very understanding. I'm going to hold my tongue and utilize it where it needs to be. So you do have self-expression in reverse. But again, some of you may feel to a degree you haven't been able to speak your truth, like words missed, things not being able to be articulated crosswise, again, with Mercury retrograde in Cancer by the 14th, in Scorpio. Again, hunches that some of these subjects are going to come back up, but allowing people to speak to get the full story, like waiting to hear the full story, but you're going on it from an intuitive level. You also have Spirit Keeper of the South. Now, it's like you guys feel things are always going down, but you're wanting to get out of it. You're wanting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're feeling fatigued. Your guides are protecting you. You're trying, again, to take the more spiritual kind of role in this situation, seeing the bigger picture, rising above it, but also taking a mature demeanor on. I'm also seeing there could be a lot of compassion for certain individuals, but then maybe you guys are feeling that people aren't being compassionate to you, feeling left out in the cold, feeling misunderstood, feeling like people get crosswise with you. So there can be that level of kind of frustration there. Now, I'm going to look for the ruin that you've got. Are we fatigued from all this frequency? Okay, you have this in reverse. Links to Ash, Raven, endings, new beginnings, spiritual connection. Mercury, Wednesday, and air. So that may be a particular day for you where situations can pan out. Mundane, advice, communication, contemplation, inspiration, authority, tradition, blessings, verbal skills. Esoteric, initiation, scarred knowledge, divine inspiration. You're trusting the process. You're knowing when to not. In reverse, delusions, misunderstandings, lies, intellectual stagnation. Now, as I mentioned before I even opened the book, it's like people have misunderstood you. So, with Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, people are getting some downloads. They're like, why didn't I see that? Because, look, 90% of communication is body language. So, with the time to sit back, Meditate upon a situation. When I say meditation, I remember talking to my twin and he goes, I don't meditate. And I went, meditation is sometimes sitting and nothing. It's the nothingness, It's just sitting there in the nothingness and doing nothing and letting what's meant to come to you come towards you. Sometimes it can be tuning into understanding it, but it's third eye energy more so. I feel at the moment your energy is really going to pick up on things a lot more in a very psychic perspective. It's going to be very intuitive. You may have a perspective on maybe some things from a very different level now. There potentially could be a little bit of agitation with the full moon. That's occurring on the 1st of October. It might have even been amping up to that point, both with the Virgo moon and the new full moon in Aries. With it, both heart chakra and base chakra will be amplified. So, from a spiritual point of view, inflammation can occur at times, a lower back energy. It's just really getting grounded, but you're looking at things and you're looking at it from a perspective of, okay, what do I have at my disposition? Now, it does hit your second house, the full moon in Aries. And so subjects surrounding your professional resources, your possessions, your land, it can be, tax and things to that degree, but also looking at what you have on hand to deal with things. What you've built in a sense of a legacy, looking at what you've achieved so far. I do feel some of this in the second house. Yeah, funny. Actions, tools, you're in your masculine, so you're getting things done. You're pouring your energy into the domain of creating stability for yourself. Now, I am going to be pulling cards directly per moon phase to see what can be coming up. You also feel you've had to be everything, and I really think that's really coming quite loud through all the zodiacs at the moment, is that both males and females have felt they had to integrate being a male and a female inside of one energy, having to do both roles. That's due to the heavy Capricorn placement. It's really accountability, responsibility, burdens, judgments. We do have Jupiter direct. We've just had Saturn go direct. And, Pluto is as well during the month. So all of that heavy Capricorn energy with all that reflective time, the hunch energy with Mercury retrograde is really going to aid us. So initially we will feel we know where things are going to fit, but a lot of this is tying up of loose ends, following that hunch energy, trial and error, and moving things forward. But with the Jupiter energy with you guys, it's really going to benefit you. You do have, by your networking, especially with Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter, it's going to benefit you. Your hopes, your dreams, your goals, you've had a lot of time to think over those things. And some of you might feel a little bit frightened, like, do I really know what I want? Do I really know the friendship group I want around me? New people are going to start coming into your world if they haven't already. Hopes and dreams are up for changes and transformations. And some of those things don't have to necessarily be ending completely. They could just be shifting to a point, hi Dale, where you're getting to a point, you're fine-tuning it. You're fine-tuning it so that you can get the betterment out of the situation. You're perfectifying it, so to speak. And especially with that Virgo energy, with the Virgo moon we had, a new moon, it's looking at your passions, maybe where you had blockages or where it was really heartbreaking that you didn't have the best success with certain situations. Going through that vibration is manifesting new energy in for you, but having to then look at the full moon in Aries of where that block was. Are you standing in your way? Is it a situation? Do you have the energy, which is really then going, okay, drop it like it's hot, hot potato, hot potato. Is this a burden? Is this taking me somewhere? Is it in Jupiter energy? Do I have the tools? But having to put your, tie your shoes up and get things done. So I do feel, even if you're fatigued, please move through the energy. Try to do your very best. It can be very frustrating. But I do feel, speak your truth. Like I said, if you're more passive, be a little bit more assertive and direct. If you're more assertive and direct, neutralize it and listen to what's going on around you so that you can get the yin and yang of that imbalance. Many of you, I do feel as though you're doing too many things. You're feeling a little bit like let down, like where's the help at? but this is transforming. Now, by the new moon in Libra, a lot of things, some of you can be upskilling, some of you can be getting to a point where you're really mastering the art. You're looking at the bigger scope of things. Some of you could be looking at your career sector and moving towards a new career sector. Others of you, just with Pluto going direct, can be perfectifying it, changing it up a little bit. Maybe you've learned some things during that transit and you're changing it up. Then we're having the full moon in Taurus, which is going to be on the 31st. It's at 8 degrees and it's hitting your 10th house. Again, if you're not happy with your career sector or there's devil in the detail energy and you've got to read over contracts and you're applying, frustrations again with Mars retrograde can be coming up. It doesn't mean to say the job is ending. It means you're reaching the end of your tether. Some of you directly just feel you don't belong to that industry anymore. It doesn't resonate with you. So whatever this means for you, it is going to be an ending and a new beginning, but it doesn't have to be that you're losing your job or that, it's going away, but there's going to be a shake up, a shift, and a transformation, and nevertheless, apply it how it directly fits with you. Now, from a romantic point of view, let's see what's coming up per moon phase. Then we're going to get into the overall energy of love and how they feel. Okay, because we did have last month in September, your heart chakra activation. A lot of things of the past relating to your connections would have come up. Also, what your role inside connections has been, be it mother, father, sister, brother, partner, love, even viewing other people's relationships. You do have this month, for potentially the next month, really. It's kicking off at the beginning of the month, but it's going to transit over into the following month. You can be looking at, in the past, where you had to be it all, okay? And now what your new perspective of connections are and how those direct circumstances changed your life. I do feel, again, with Mercury retrograde and Mars retrograde, there can be a lot of opportunities for skeletons in the closet to come out. This can be blasts from the past coming back. This can be memories of these situations. But there is going to be a subject to do with relationships, marriages, contracts, partnerships in the first week. Some of you, if you had been on the fence or you'd left a situation, you're tying up that contract and you're moving forward. Especially for those of you in the matrix that are ending certain contracts and they've been going on for a long time, it can get a little bit more frustrating during Mercury retrograde, but it's just really reading the fine print, trying to be patient with it, going through the motions of getting those things done so that you can, you'll get delays, you'll get miscommunications, but you will be able to achieve it. It just takes a little bit longer and test your patience. Overall, a lot of subjects to do with love. I do feel there is going to be more openness mid-month. Even if there's crosswise and you're currently in a connection or thinking on this connection, I do feel there's clearing, but you do need to hear this person out. If you've been the one to lead, again, swap the energy and allow that other person to lead. I do feel it's a role reversal of the way you used to be versus how you are now. It's like, okay, if you were potentially always the giver, you're moving into receivership mode. Some of you are kind of blocking it, but I do feel that's moving through and it's been a healing process. Now, by the time we have the new moon in Libra, again, some of you are going to be like, oh my gosh, what do I do? I feel very tired. How do I feel? And this is something, when the work factor come up, the first thing I heard prior to pulling the energy for romance was tough times trying to do everything and have time for a relationship. Potentially because you've had to be everything. But this is a mindset shift for you guys. Some things from last month might play out again, but at the same time, this can be also linking back to 2014. So if you had a connection or a situation or a thought process that you had back then versus where you are now, it may come back and there can be, again, because Mercury will be retrograde, slight delays on the romance house. You also may want to spend some private time. This can also be an offering. This can also be a more protected way of dealing with this. Oh, Amanda, I feel you, girl. Yeah, fun. Yeah, so going into hermit mode, maybe even having some quality time with the person. I was really feeling a lot of conversations, but I feel more, you're so tired, you're just really listening. And I just feel you've heard it all. You're like, not you've heard it all, you've dealt with something to such a high level that you just, it's also helping this process. It had to occur that way so that you were more in your, I'm not going to fight this anymore. I'm accepting of what's to be. I'm choosing to put my energy into what I feel is required. Thanks, Star. What's the deal here? I'm handing you the baton. What are you going to do about this? And I just feel this person's really trying. I do feel they're going to understand because you've really got nothing left to really express. You're very tired. That's self-expression in reverse. You're like, I've got nothing to say. I'm handing you the baton and just say what you got to say. Say your piece. So that's what's coming through there for the new moon. It is a super moon and it is at the critical degrees. So, if you guys have been on the fence and you haven't really wanted an energy in your life, this could be a love romantic relationship, or it could have been marriage, contract, partnership, the people you're interconnecting with, especially with the 11th house placement. You'll know what's coming with you and what's not. Some of you, I'm actually seeing you cutting a friend off. Or it could be somebody who's, and I don't feel it's hateful. I just feel you've got some things going on. So it's like having to deal with something, got a lot going on. Maybe you're on the phone and they're trying to talk to you. And look, I've got X, Y, and Z I've got to do. I'm really sorry. I've got to directly mentally focus on this situation. I'll call you back or something to that degree. It does feel, a lot is going on. Now, this person, I do feel, is wanting to communicate, understanding, and I do feel a hand is coming. It's like a hand is coming. It's a generous offer. They directly can see, that you're in the thick of it, and there is somebody coming to help you. And I do feel it's not coming in a lower frequency fashion. It's coming in a very genuine offer that they have been where you've been, or they see the light at the end of the tunnel. They see what you're directly going through. And it's very compassionate, very apologetic. Please let me help you sort of scenario. Now, by the time we have the full moon in Taurus, it's hitting your 3rd house placement. So again, you might be more open to communicating. You may be more open to expressing what you've been doing in your life, what's been going on, what your belief systems are, how you view the world, what you're moving towards in a sense, and what you're willing to deal with and what you're not inside connections. Yeah, it's like... This could even be conversations about foolishness with finances, foolishness with value, with self-worth, be it their side or your side. Also, pay careful attention during that time with the full moon in Taurus, as well as with Lilith and Aries. Be cautious of the things that you have, especially with Mars retrograde, because what you've worked for is what you worked for. And I do feel you guys are really trying to get your ducks in a row and being protective. You may have had a separation before and, things were taken from you. So you're just getting to a point you're being very protective of what you have. You're checking to see whether people's worth is there, in a sense that they're not just coming for the financial reasons. They're coming because they actually love and care and are coming as an equal. Now, they don't have to come as perfect. That's not what we're talking about from a spiritual point of view. We're talking about intent. That the intent is correct and the intent is genuine. Let's get into the energy for love. Lots to talk about, I feel, but you guys, you're just not going to be putting up with much. You've had enough. Is enough is enough. Keep getting these songs, I tell you. Ooh. There could be a blow up mid-month. And it could all come pouring out. You're like listening to your intuition. You're like, look, I'm getting my hunch. I'm in my scorpionic energy. There could be something that plays out at the beginning of the month, especially first 2 weeks, I would say. Maybe your intuition's on fire, but by the time we have Mercury going retrograde in Scorpio, it's very psychic in nature. This is very moon energy. It's very intuitive. You may also be assessing situations and saying, oh, I've got a hunch here. I'm not feeling so good about this. But there's something from the past coming up for you, or a direct situation playing out with this romantic interest. And you're like, oh, I don't know if I can trust you. Now, you have a view on, again, what you've worked for, what you have, what your belief systems, that relationships look like. This can also be a situation where you or the other person has dealt with a legacy. It can be inheritances and things to that degree. They may be looking at that. They may be dealing with a past-related dynamic, or it could be you. Now, you're wanting to have this celebration. And, even this person. Now, when I say celebration, there could have been an issue surrounding this connection of codependency. There may have been, again, probably demilitarized for this. Addictions, things to that degree. Neptune retrograde can amplify that. As Neptune goes direct, it's reflective. We're reflecting on those things, our habits, our routines. As it goes direct, we could really be making those changes on those situations. So, looking at that and going, look, you understand, you're human. You have your vices, they have their vices. The past is the past. But, some of those things you could be looking at and you can be thinking, okay, if X, Y, and Z has been ticked off and it's been finalised, can we then move forward? Is this a move forward situation? Right. Then mid-month, I'm feeling, whatever this is, it's coming to a head for you. How do I put it? It feels as though I keep hearing, I've heard it all. And I heard the song Enough is Enough is Enough. And I don't know who sings that, so feel free to write it there for their credit. It's just like you've had it up to here. You've kept something inside. You haven't been saying anything. You're holding your tongue. You're holding your tongue. You understand. You've got compassion. Got a lot of passion for this person. Try and take the mature approach. Something goes down and bang. You're like, conflict. Donna Summers. I love that. So enough is enough. Yeah. And then you're like, look, I've seen all I need to see. These are the changes that we've gone through. This is what I've got. 5 things I'm dealing with. I've got 5 people needing on me. I've got 5 scenarios. 5s are all about change. Right. There you go, Amanda. Bless. This can be the viewpoint of, okay, so is this a delay? Or it can be, okay, yes, in general, life changes, but this year has been a heck of a year. All right. So you're aware that this person has been battling something, but you have been caught in the crossfire and kind of dragged along with it, and you're feeling their energy, and it's like, you don't want to think about it anymore. You're like, if anything, if one more straw falls, you're going to flip. Now, you could be sticking to yourself, keeping to yourself, and you've got all these things playing over in your head. And you kind of feel to a degree that you're putting yourself on hold. And that's bringing up some old situations. Okay, it's like, You want to have the give and take. You're open to it. To a degree it's there. It's a potential. But you're kind of wondering if this is reciprocal. Now, there could be a situation where you feel you've waited and you're wanting your harvest to come in. You've tried to keep level. You've tried to keep correct. Some of you, let me look. I've got a hunch here. Okay, mid-month, be careful with fertility, especially if you're not with this person when they come back, there's a potential. Keep an eye on the moon as it transits past Cancer. If you don't want to conceive, and I'm not a medical practitioner, I'm talking astrology only. Seek that should you need it. Be careful. But overall, you guys are wanting, and this could be relating to an Aries. It could be, your fears about a situation. You could be worried that, how are you going to look after your kids? Or, can we get this off the ground? Again, I'm seeing taking the ball by the horns. There could be a passionate energy to do with the beginning of the month moving forward and discussions in relation to look. And it feels overdue discussions, amping up, where it's getting to a head and you need to discuss it. Joy. Okay. You don't want to hear, oh, I didn't learn, oh, I didn't know. You don't want to hear that. You've heard it before. You know it's part of the process. You know that people learn, but you also know that, for this hopes and dreams, your plan is the highway. So you're moving, you're not running, you're moving towards your hopes and dreams. And look, to a degree, sometimes you feel you're going backwards, but then you self-navigate back and you're coming back to, the bigger picture of, yes, that building it does take time, but you're also getting to a point you're saying, look, I'm not going to go, it's not that they're not following, it's not that they're not seeing your side or that it's never going to happen. It's causing a little bit of frustration, which is kind of embodying a little bit of energy like you're going, am I going to have to wait for you to catch up? No, you don't. Because as you move forward, it's not running, it's merely shifting all your energy onto that of what you love. And yes, you do love, but it's pushing the energy because you are ascended, right? And it's not faith. You're following the energy of your higher conscious mind. This could be to do with marriage. This could be to do with a married couple. Or that you wish to it could be a very spiritual connection. And that's really what I'm getting. But you, in the bigger scheme of things, you need to have more faith in yourself of who you are and that you can attract this, and that it's not a personal thing. It is a situation. We do take it personal, especially directly when it's happening to us. But it's got nothing to do with you. Know who you are and keep going. Stop getting scared that this person's going to run for the bloody hills. Excuse my French. Because it's just a delay. Right? Hi, darling. It's a delay. You're being responsible. Okay, it takes two to tango, and this is what you're attracting. Okay, how are they seeing you? I'm in my blue room. I've moved, Luciana. Yes, again. Because enough is enough is enough. Okay, they're ending a cycle. They may have dealt with a person, a loved one that passed over. They may have been healing over an old cycle. Finances to them is very important. Right? Yeah. Am I? Oh, thanks, love. Finances is important, but they're looking at the past. They're going as well and truly over. All of that saga's over. Whatever's transpired with all the shenanigans, it's like they're looking at it going, ugh, that old me is gone. That old me's gone. It's gone. Don't like it. I know what I need to end. Yes, and they can sense your vibration. It's almost like a strict teacher. You're looking at them and you're going, I'm not playing. You're not angry. Right. You're not angry. You're like, tell me lies. Yeah, you're like, look, and it's not lies. You just like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I've got 99 problems, right? I've got 99 problems. You need to end this. They know it's all to do with this, right? And you're like, you're going to have this fresh start. It's going to be coming in there, Libra season. You're like, you're running out of time, right? You're running out of time. Libra season. I don't know. Everyone's like, are you excited? It's Libra season. Have you seen the astrology? Okay. 10 is all about new beginnings and endings. Death card is about endings and new beginnings. Right? You can't have a new door open without closing an old door, which means tying up loose ends. Okay, it's forced. Mars retrograde, especially for masculines, they're tied. They're tied to be tied. They're not wasting their time. It's coming at them, and it could be happening internally, and then it happens externally. But this is all about changes. And, you know, for some of them, this fresh start and this, it could be a legal situation. It could be removing karmic contracts, karmic ties. It could be work related. Suddenly they've got a contract. Things are starting to get balanced out. So, you know, with that, between now and the end of the year, we are effectively ending that. We already have, but the lessons we learned, similar to a retrograde, we're directly applying it now and going, next. Next. No. Not allowing things to scare us. We're moving forward. Taking their power back. Not being scared anymore. Dealing with it. They do know there's a manipulator here at hand, but it's power that has been given. So power that has been given is power that can be taken back. They've also been concerned about you for your safety due to maybe an external energy. They may have come across to these energies very passive, but it has been due to protecting you for some given reason. Some of you, it can be relating to a female energy, a grandmother, karmic partner. Again, they've had a lot going down. You're kind of in the crossfire and they're like, look, they've been protective of this. They're ready. They're bringing this. If you're in the connection with them, this can still be happening, right? What do they want to tell you? They're ditching the trash, letting it go, letting the old paradigms go, letting the pain from the past go, letting it go, ending that cycle because they want to bring this to you and they know they need to clean up shop. One last card. What's the surprise? Dude, I'm about to have a pizza delivered to my tent. Oh, why? Because I used to do that to my husband. This is a funny thing. I always say this, and I mean, these are collective energies. These don't have to be twin flame reads. These are the zodiac signs, but I'm a twin flame courage temperance. I'm doing everything traditional. I'm keeping my karma neutral. You go deal with yours, right? Okay, so with it, years and years and years, I've known my twin for... I told him the other day, and he went, really that long? I went, hey, is that bad? 25 years, I do believe. Now, this man is fussy to the fussy. Darl, if you're watching, you're fussy. You're OCD, okay? And even the way I say the pizza, if I say the pizza incorrectly, he corrects me, and I just do it to piss him off anyway. So he has two styles of pizzas. Initially, it was one. That's how fussy that man was. Even the people at the pizza shop will be like, what? Simple. You know, feminines be all healthy, organic, masculine, and sometimes they can be healthy as well. I'm not casting any judgment. Oily, meaty, you know, sugar. Candy shop. There you go. Take me to the candy shop. That's my twin. Lollies. Bananas. Not real bananas. Lolly bananas. And I'm not going to give the secrets to the karmics because, yes, I studied this man. Not from a stalker point of view, from a disciplinary point of view that you must know who this man is. So, yes, I know a lot about this person, and it's been my training over the last 25 years. I was really teasing him the other day. He doesn't like me asking if he's okay, so I said to him, it's kind of pointless me asking if you're okay because Mars is really affecting you. And he was like, what do you mean? And I went, he has these comedy ways he deals with things. He was tired, didn't want to go to work, didn't want to deal with anything. The house was clean. It was beautiful. I mean, we've had boxes everywhere for 2 weeks. Didn't even notice it. And I was like, but expects hand towels and things to be there, you know, good queen. Make sure it's done right. So the next day I teased him about it. I don't want to. Meh. He'll shoot me. I know so I said to him, it's pointless me asking you if you're good. Are you enjoying, you know, having bad days? And he's like, what do you mean? I said, oh, look, it's really working for you, eh? Mars. I said, don't let me get my Mars out. Sleep giant. Yeah, no, look, you must use comedy with your twin guys. Keep it light, laugh, tease them. Tease them about the idiosyncrasies we hold in this connection. Hey, but we're part of that equation, right? We are part of that equation. I even tell them about something. I don't tell him the clients' names, but what I preach, I tell him, and he laughs. And I said, well, you did train me. And he goes, it's true, Yildiz. So he hates the fact that he trained me because, yes, I could be a relationship coach, I'm telling you. When I tell him the advice I give, he completely agrees with me. Baby, you want to come on YouTube? He doesn't like the fact, he even tells his friends, he goes, be careful, she'll read you. Yes, and don't expect your masculines to listen to you right away. We don't own them. Yeah, anyway, I would send him a pizza, okay? So I knew that he was, and it was code. It was, yes, your well-trained person has sent you a pizza. Nobody else knew. I knew what style pizza he had. So just to stir him, I'd send him his favourite pizza randomly. And he'd be like this. Yeah. Yeah, I would. Yeah, he'd just be like, he'd look left and right like, where is she? No, you're not that lucky. You just get the pizza. It'd be like, hi. Yep. Knew his favourite drink orders, favourite pizzas, quotes. Yeah. Yeah. Just got, yeah. What you need to do is take a little bit of their shadow of everything and really is like, ugh, why do they do that? It's not love. It's stirring. It's, I know you. Have you not worked that one out yet? Donuts. I love donuts. I'm so glad some of my family don't like donuts, because I'm like, yeah, I'll have them. I do tend to not buy sweets unless I have a craving for it. Because if they're there, I'm going to eat them, let's just be honest. And even because I like my sweets and things like that, I would literally find the lowest fat way to do such. With less sugar, yet less fat, organic, so I could treat myself. Yeah. But yeah, most of the time, the things that trigger you about a partner are the things that you need to integrate inside your own life. So when you do that, you find you can get the yin yang and you do get the best out of the connections. So it's just about actually utilizing that to your benefit and, bringing that into your life. What's next? Okay, so we've done the air signs. We've done the water signs. We are to the next group. Now, are we going to do Earth? Shelley, do you have to scream at me? We are doing fire signs. Why did I write Virgo down twice? Probably have a chart at the end of this to do. Yeah. So should we do fire signs? Aries. Yeah, I heard you in my head. I was like, poor woman probably wants to go to bed. Some of you probably want to go to bed in the world. But, this is collective energy as well. When you get to the Aries energy, pretty much collective energy. Collectively, you know what's up in the hood. Okay, collectively, you would find that all of us are looking at our positions in our own personal wounds. By the time we have Mercury going retrograde, we are going to look at shared resources. We're going to be looking at the give and take in situations, what needs to end, what needs to transform. We're also looking at the moment, what is happening with our relationships? What's happening with our career sector? How can we balance those things out? What do we need to do that? With Neptune retrograde, we're looking at our psychology, how this whole year has affected us, how mentally this whole year has affected us. What those hopes and dreams are. Are they based on Stances have changed. Yeah, you won't sleep. Mars is there. Your brain won't shut down. Do some third eye clearing. Third eye clearing. You probably cry, but I mean, I'm sorry, I love you. But it may actually clear it where it comes up quicker, and you can just, yeah. Or just glue, a tumblr on your third eye. Oh, yeah, tumblr. I'd say tumblr and amethyst. Love and light. I'll be back in about 10. Let me set it up. I'm going to have a little mini break, and then we're coming back for Aries. Because it's, yeah. I tried that. We said lobotomy, Shelley, but, you get it. Kate, it could probably be earlier, darling. 2021. What zodiac are you? That's okay, Val. What zodiac are you? Because it depends on the zodiac linking to the astrology. Let me just see what one I missed. Sagittarius. I need to do Sag as well. You're a Libra. What are they? For Libras at the moment, we're in our Mars. We're like in our Venus house and our Mars. So it's like, is this ever going to happen? Am I doing the right thing? I've done enough. Why hasn't this worked? We can be very strict. But their energy, being Pisces, Neptune's retrograde at the moment, masculine energies collectively are having their grand awakening. It links to Mars and it links to Jupiter energy. Jupiter's direct and Mars will be going direct as of November the 14th. And during the retrograde, if they're dealing with karmic cycles, situations that don't serve them, putting energy elsewhere, it's kind of like their equation of energy and Venus retrograde for them. So they're assessing those things and they can be really tight. So it's a purge of the ego. So, it's a bit like if you got a person that's physically fatigued coming back and going, yeah, okay, we'll party in 2021. I'm recouping. It's not that they're not coming back. You potentially during Mercury retrograde can have some communication. I realised with my movement, Juno really was having a lot of connection with that. And collectively, Libra at the moment, we had Juno in Libra transiting shortly. When it transits, especially, generally it does like a 12-month cycle and it goes retrograde and direct. There's shifts that occur there too. So I'd say it'll be before then. I'll pull a card for you and then I'll quickly have a 10-15 minute break and come back and we'll do Aries. And that's only because I need to go get a drink and go to the lavatory. It'll be nice to me, right? I'm going to be doing this all night. Yeah, don't believe that. I think it potentially can be, during the Mercury retrograde to clear up any miscommunication because you got the deception card. Go into your intuition. It can be sooner. The reason we say that is, let me look at Pisces chart. Okay, Pisces chart, their psychology of the connections, their spirituality, where other people directly impacting them or their needs on other people, it will come up. And for you, you're going to have the energy of, in 2021, where am I? It's dark in here. You're going to have more luck in your relationship sector. Because we are having the Aquarius placement of Jupiter and Saturn, which is 5th house placement, which is Aquarius. And that's the reason why people say connections will be better. So, yes, that's generally why we say unions, reconciliations and things to that degree, but it's already occurring. There's no set time frame in detachment of letting go and not being triggered by that statement. That's when it comes towards you. Love and light. I'll talk to you soon.